Hey all, this actual play and learn of Masks, the New Generation features none other than Emil and Niels of the DoubleDM Podcast. If you've ever wanted a podcast that covers all sorts of tips and tricks for GMs, along with cool interviews with people from the TTRPG community, you're definitely going to want to check them out. I listen to them every week and they genuinely have some phenomenal advice and they're great guys. In other news, I also appeared as a guest on a one-shot in the Dueling DM Podcast. Do a lot of stuff with two DMs. It is a Weird West-styled campaign using the Index Card RPG. I definitely recommend you check it out. It was a ton of fun. I'll have a link in the description below. Now, in this actual play and learn, I will try and make it as easy as possible for you all to follow along and kind of learn masks as you go, but if you want a more comprehensive coverage of the rules, go and watch my How to Play Powered by the Apocalypse video. It's one of the games covered, and it's also one of my favorite. Without further ado, enjoy the show.
Well, Niels, if you want to go first.
Yeah, I probably will play an outsider.
Outsider. Awesome. That is actually, that is the first playbook that I chose when playing this game, and it's a lot of fun. So as an outsider, you are a being from another world. You could be an alien being, you could be from another dimension, another timeline of Earth, but whatever it is, this world should be foreign to you, but appealing for some reason. You've chosen to stay on Earth and be a hero here for some reason. But do you know where you might be coming from?
If I thought maybe from a different planet somehow.
Alrighty then. Alrighty. So we'll just kind of go through step by step to kind of help you build your outsider. So your look, they give suggestions. Look however you want. You can look mostly human, you could look like a, seven-legged spider mermaid if you really wanted to, but I'm not going to be too concerned about you picking that. The main thing, first, we'll kind of look at your abilities right below the little portrait they have. Automatically, you can fly, and you're pretty tough. And if that sounds kind of vague, in Powered by the Apocalypse, it's supposed to be. But it's there, right. So you're pretty tough and you can fly. You also get to choose two other powers and kind of define those. Basically, we just define those within the fiction of the game as we go and just try and be reasonable. Like, if you choose one of your abilities is alien weaponry and then in mid-game you go, well, I'm going to use my gun that blows up the planet, we might go, that might be a little much for within the fiction of the world. Let's see what that actually might be. But for the most part, if you can look at these abilities and decide, you can decide how they work, basically however you want.
Okay, then I would probably choose density control and telepathy and mind blasts.
Nice. All right. So density control, telepathy, and mind blasts. Perfect. The next step is, if we go down to the next page of it, you can see they've got their labels. And you have automatically your labels are going to start in the spots where there are little white boxes around them. And then you can add one to wherever you want. To give you an idea, danger is your thought of how dangerous you are and typically affects how you might directly try and attack someone. Freak is, how much of an outsider you feel like and helps determine your ability to unleash your powers. Savior is kind of like the hero complex where you need to be protecting people. Superior is how much above other people that you feel. And mundane is how normal you might feel and just relating to more human aspects of the world.
Let's go with freak level.
Perfect. Now, conditions are basically kind of the equivalent of, they're going to affect your general health. There is not HP or anything like that in this system. you take conditions which affect your emotional state. And as you take conditions, if you take a big hit, which we'll see as we play how that happens, the more conditions you have, the more likely you are to either get hurt or get knocked out of the fight. And also you can see they give you negatives to specific moves depending on what condition you have. But typically if you take a condition, you get to decide what condition you're taking. And then the last thing that you can kind of look over, because it might take a minute for you to decide which ones you want, but you get 3 outsider moves. And these are moves, kind of like there's Unleash Your Power and stuff like this that you're going to see. These are moves that are specific to you. So feel free to kind of look through those, and you can choose the 3 that you think are most interesting. Don't worry a whole lot about mechanically what some of that stuff means. If it just sounds like an interesting concept, go with it. It's usually about as complicated as the concept sounds. So I'll let you look over that. And Emil, which playbook is catching your eye?
When Niels and I were talking, my eye was catched by the Nova playbook most.
So you are a font of power, and sometimes a little bit too much power that can become a little dangerous to control. But heck yeah. And so we can basically jump right over to your abilities. So you can fundamentally control the world around you. Choose one option from the list as the broad base of your control.
And I have telekinesis, and telepathy. That's gonna happen often. Telepathy, biokinesis, gravity manipulation, sorcery, elemental control, and cosmic energy. And I think I am just gonna go with elemental control.
All right, so I see you've got those set. And did you add one to wherever you'd like to choose?
Not yet.
All right.
But I am gonna do that and gonna add that to. I'm just gonna go one more into freak.
All right.
Put that up
Couple
to a
of
3.
Freaks. All right, so you've got that. The next thing you would do is choose your burn. The Nova can be a little bit more complicated to run, but basically you choose 4 different flares. So when you charge up your powers, you're going to roll plus the number of conditions you have on a hit, and a hit is anything on the dice that's 7 or above. On a hit, you hold 3, and then on a 7 to 9, mark a condition, and on a miss, hold 2 burn and mark 3 conditions. Your character kind of thrives on being emotionally messed up. The more conditions you have, the better the chance you have of stacking up these burns. And then you can use each of these kind of powers in order to do, basically whatever it says there. Just like these other moves, these are your specific moves. The more conditions you have, the more of those moves you're likely to get. But the more conditions you have, if you take a hit during a fight, that is going to be more dangerous for you. So now, we're only playing with 2. Usually the game recommends 3, but trust me, it runs fine with just 2 people. I've done it. And so you 2 are going to start out already knowing each other. You're already kind of a superhero team. You're a duo you're starting out. You're teenagers. You have been in, Masks insist that if you're playing, you have to play in Halcyon City and they can just shove off. You're in Zenith City as far as I'm concerned. I don't care. But you've fought off against like bank robbers and smaller villains, whatever you want. The 2 things that we have to figure out is, when did your team first come together? What do you think kind of happened? And this is something for us, to all discuss with each other. for the Nova, it specifically says, when our team first came together, we destroyed our surroundings in the fight. Where was it? What did we destroy? And then for the Outsider, God, it's so nice you're right next to each other so I can switch between these so quickly. For the Outsider, when you first came together, we didn't trust each other at first, but that changed. How and why? So what do you think was the first moment that you two came together, and how would you each answer those questions about yourselves?
What popped instantly into my head is one of the biggest scenes from the first Avengers movie when Thor came to Earth to get Loki back, even though we don't even need to have a Loki in there, but you came to Earth and I don't know, we met kind of in that direction.
Yeah.
That could work.
All right, so we're thinking our little Outsider. Do you guys have names for yourselves at all, by the way?
Not yet.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Well,
Names for characters are take a bit for me.
And I mean, if you want, there's an easy solution. Your hero names could be Nova and Outsider. It's the easiest cheat.
I mean, yeah.
Okay,
so,
let's go.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say, basically, Outsider, when you first came to Earth, there's a bit of a misunderstanding and things maybe got a little bit out of control there. So, police got called and everything. Things got a little wild, and Nova happened to be the first hero in the area on the scene. So I think that almost kind of automatically answers why didn't we trust each other at first, because, well, you came on down to this planet and people freaked out.
Yeah.
So, Nova, this also leads to your coming together. We destroyed our surroundings in the fight. Where was it? What did we destroy? It sounds like you may have been, at first, in a bit of a fight with each other.
Maybe. I mean, that sounds fun, right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Let's go with that. Niels, or the Outsider. We wanted to have to destroy part of a city, right? And not a forest or something, because that's boring, right?
It has to be some... It has to be something...
So how about we go with a train station?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with a train station.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, you do this, but apparently you kind of learned that there's a bit of a misunderstanding, and so you came to realize, oh, you're not here to attack, and you realize, oh, they just didn't know what you were, Outsider. So, yeah, it seems there was just a big old misunderstanding that did destroy a train station and has put both of you very much on the radar, the very negative radar of the captain of the police, Captain Austin. She is maybe not your biggest fan.
Yeah, and I think that answers one of my questions. That this is how it changed my trust, because we were then on the same side of the radar of the police captain, and then needed to work together to maybe change that in the future somehow.
Perfect. I love that. It makes sense. Yeah, you eventually, you realize it's a misunderstanding. Nova and you are trying to go to the police chief and get them to stand down. Nova, you're still a new hero in this city. The police weren't exactly sure how to think of you in the beginning, and Captain Austin will eventually begrudgingly accept this as just a big misunderstanding. And the thing that really seals the deal, though, as Captain Austin is talking about bringing you both in, is the leader of the Stars, the hero team of Zenith City, North Star, who is a woman with jet black hair. She's well-muscled, has, of course, the flowing cape. She is the Superman type of Zenith City. And she will come down and vouch for the both of you. Nova, you've never even met North Star before. This is, meeting the pinnacle of all heroes. So
the number one hero, yeah.
So yeah, she is going to vouch for the both of you. And that is how the two of you met. And now I would say the next thing to look at is you have two options for relationships. How do you each see your relationship with each other? For the outsider, you've been learning about Earth by spending time with this person, or you have a crush on this person, but you keep it under wraps.
I would probably say you've been learning about Earth by spending time with Nova, probably.
Perfect.
It makes the most sense, I think.
I would say so. I think that makes perfect sense. And Nova, how do you see your relationship with Outsider?
Have I heard Niels?
Multiple times, but that's not the question.
Every time we record, I break Niels mentally.
Yeah.
No, I think we're hanging out, so we can blow off steam together.
Perfect. Okay. Now the last thing you get to decide would be influence. So if you have influence over someone else, you get +1 to all of your rolls against them. You might roll against each other if you have conflicting opinions about something that happens. You can also gain influence over various NPCs. You can have influence over villains, potentially. And then you can also basically break that influence, take advantage of it to get an even bigger bonus, but you'll kind of lose your influence after that. You're pushing it to the breaking point. For our Nova, you get to choose your demeanor. Do you have a happy facade, or are you more locked down? If you're happy, you can give influence to 3 teammates. If you're more locked down, you give influence to 1 teammate. Obviously, there's only 2 of you, so mechanically this makes no difference, but it might determine what kind of person you are.
I think I'm gonna go with a happy facade.
Happy facade.
Yeah.
All right, and Outsider, yours is pretty fun. You get to choose your demeanor. Are you haughty or cheerful? If you're haughty, you think you're better than them. Give no one influence. Or if you're cheerful, you're thrilled to be here. Give everyone influence.
I think because it will be fun, I will choose cheerful.
Cheerful. All right, cool. So everyone has influence over you. Nova has influence over you, but you also have influence over Nova. You are, closely knit people. And in this game, since there aren't like other heroes and stuff, it doesn't matter too much. But know for the both of you that as teenagers, every single adult has influence over you to begin with. And they can try to use that to shift your labels. Basically, if an adult said, let's just say if an adult went up to you and said, you really don't belong here. You guys messed up that fight. I don't know why you think you can be heroes. That adult might be trying to shift your superior label down and your mundane label up. And you'll have chances to resist that if you want and whatnot, but as long as they have influence, they can attempt to do that. It doesn't happen a whole ton, but it's a good thing to know. Because a big part of this game is, hey, you're teenagers, and being a teenager means emotions suck. So.
They still do, isn't it?
Yep. All right, so then we're basically on to the part. Do you have any questions about your moves or your burn or whatever that you're choosing?
One thing for the burns. I had to choose 4. Is that correct?
Yes. You've both been active in Zenith City as kind of a crime-fighting duo, we're going to say for about the last 6 months now. You've taken on things like bank robbers, even some minor villains. You have stood face to face with none other than Captain Delimeat. He was a bit of a joke to most people, but by God, he's the first named supervillain that you were able to take down. But you've even fought off, small hordes of alien spiders and even a madman who had put together a bomb to blow up the city. Neither of you had the heart to admit to everyone else that the bomb was not wired correctly and never would have exploded, but you took the win. But of course, you always ended up kind of living in the shadows of the true heroes of Zenith City, the Stars. The Stars consist of 4 heroes. North Star, who is the leader, the Superman type that you both met on Outsider's first day here on Earth. Outsider has the ability to fly. She has super strength and pretty darn good super speed. She is that traditional archetypal hero. There is also Quantum, a hero who is known for general super speed, super intelligence, but also the ability to suddenly exist in multiple places at the same time. A bit of a quantum state. So that is Quantum. There is Sharp, a hero who is able to control sounds, perfect imitation, even using sounds to extreme destructive lengths. She is quite proficient at it. And finally, Kikimora, who is a shadowy hero. He lurks around in the dark. People cannot see him so long as he stands in a shadow. And he is known for his paralysis strike, where he can, if he gets up close enough to a villain, can strike them and render them completely still for upwards of half an hour, depending on just how powerful they are. And together, these 4 heroes have protected Zenith City. However, about 2 months ago, you know that the Stars went up against one of the biggest threats that they had ever encountered, an ancient artificial intelligence known as Relic. This robot that was terrorizing the city and creating an army of himself. At some point in time, you even were fighting some of these little drones of his, mindless replicants that nowhere near the power of the original, but you and every other hero in the city were fighting them off until finally the Stars managed to destroy his mainframe. But unfortunately, in doing so, and in the explosion, Kikimora was badly injured, and even upon recovery, has been unable to regain his powers. And so the Stars have been down a member. And after this was realized, you both were suddenly confronted by North Star and invited to join the Stars. North Star says that you are the 2 heroes with the most potential, and she believes that, they have a gap that needs to be filled in the Stars. And Kikimora was a valuable asset, so she says, and no offense to the both of you, but I think the 2 of you could make a good replacement for our one lost member. And so you have been invited to join up with the Stars, in honor that most heroes would, give their right leg for. So
Nova's probably gonna first look confused over to Outsider, not knowing what to say to that, really. Did not expect that question, rather.
This is what you call a promotion, right?
It's a way to think of it, yes.
And that is generally regarded as a good thing here, too, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you for the offer then.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you accept?
Well, of course we do.
Definitely.
How could we say no to that?
I'm glad to hear it. I don't think our team would work as well with just 3 of us. But just know that we face some truly dangerous threats. And I don't mean to belittle any of the things that you've gone against, but you are just teenagers. But we need people who are truly the best of the best to join up with the stars. And I think that would be you. And I'm also going to say, upon saying this, she is deeply trying to flatter you. She is attempting to shift your superior labels up and your mundane labels down. You can resist that if you want, or you can just allow it to happen.
I would allow it to happen.
I would allow it to happen as well.
All
Let's
right.
just see where that takes us.
So yeah, you two can change up your labels. Or yeah, she is giving you a little bit of a big head. That
was mundane down and superior up, correct?
Yep, correct. So she is going to tell you that it's going to be a big public event. She wants you all to meet over at Star headquarters. It is a very large, very well-defended building near the center of the city. And she'll say if you can come by, in about a week, she'll give you an exact date and time that they want to have a welcoming ceremony for you. And she'll say that you're going to report in to Colonel Hodge at the outskirts of the perimeter. He'll take you in. There's going to be press there. But Colonel Hodge will kind of give you the rundown of how you need to act. And she will insist, please do come in uniform looking your best. I'm afraid one part of being in the stars that you will have to get used to is being in the public eye and keeping up appearances, which it's not my favorite thing to do, but if it helps give the people even a little bit more hope, I'm willing to do it. And with that, she will fly off. And so you have kind of a week to prepare for this this swearing-in ceremony to become a member of STARS. Is there anything you'd like to do? We're not going to, spend a ton of time on it, but if there is something that you felt you wanted to do because of this, we can absolutely take a look at that.
Oh, I am sure that Nova's gonna take Outsider for, I don't know, celebrational milkshakes or something.
Definitely.
Because a promotion needs to be celebrated, obviously.
Perfect. All right, so you have a little celebration. The week is, just full of anticipation and, nerves and whatnot. But eventually the day comes and you are, heading towards the headquarters. It is a very large building. It almost looks like what an airport hangar might look like if it was designed by an overexcited architect. And
Okay.
outside, you can see that there are defense turrets. Members of the press are being scanned by extremely complex-looking equipment, and there are a couple military personnel running that scanning, and you can see an older gentleman with a very well-manicured gray mustache and extremely thinning hair, kind of like conducting and controlling things. And you would assume that may, in fact, be Colonel Hodge.
Then we're gonna go over there, correct?
Yeah, we are. Would you like the honors?
Yeah. I'm just gonna go up. You are Colonel Hodge, I assume?
Oh, You must be, Novus and the alien guy. All right.
I
Outsider.
actually prefer outsider, thank you.
Outsider. Yeah. I see how that is. That's, all right.
General
Good
appearance is
God.
important. That also means the name.
Mm-hmm. Couple of kids joining in with the stars. You really think you're cut out for this, huh?
At least North Star is thinking this. So if you want to take it up with her.
Yeah, North Star's got a lot of ideas about how wonderful the world is and the potential of the youth and all this and that. Doesn't exactly understand the realism in the world. What really has to happen to keep this city safe, but whatever. It's not my call to make who gets to be on your fancy team of tight-wearing weirdos.
Anything else to add?
You do anything wrong, you get out of line, and just know no amount of your little superpowers are gonna stop the American military from doing what they gotta do to protect this city. Capiche? We're not gonna have any repeats of, train stations. That understood?
Understood, sir.
Yes.
And with that, Colonel Hodge begins to lead you inside the compound. You get into an area that's been kind of decorated like a large, I'm losing the word, public address. You know, there is a podium, there are decorations, there is a huge gathering of basically every single member of the press. Members of the press are calling out to you. There is such a storm of questions being asked. You couldn't pick one out if you tried. It is just this cacophony of voices and cameras flashing, all that kind of stuff. It makes this very, very large open building feel almost a little claustrophobic. The amount of attention you are currently receiving. And you are brought to the stage area and sat down on some seats on the side by Colonel Hodge. And he says, all right, wait here. You just sit down. Do not engage the press. Do not start answering their questions. You wait here until the stars show up. They're going to give some little speech about the future of blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to walk up and you're going to get your little star badge so you can feel like you're with the big boys now. You get it?
Yeah, I have
Sounds
one
easy.
small question regarding the rules. In my abilities, it says I can fly. Is it, or am I able to hover slightly?
Oh, absolutely. If that's how you interpret your flight, you can always be flying if you want.
Then I would like to hover over the chair and not sit down. Just because.
Just because.
Yeah, Colonel Hodge kind of gives you a look seeing you there, shakes his head, just lets out this irritated grumble, and walks off stage, off to the side, keeping an eye on things. As you're sitting there, you can hear, finally a few questions come through. You hear a reporter going, Outsider, is it difficult to fly? Is there a limit to your powers? Outsider, can you fly through space? Is that how you came to our planet? Nova, what do you say about the accusations that your powers came out of control and that's what destroyed this train station? Just question after question from these people. Do you engage them at all, or?
I'm tempted, but I won't.
Same. I think Nova's holding on to not say anything, but is succeeding at that at least for now.
All right. So, as you sit here, these questions keep coming. Nothing seems to be deterring these members of the press. And after a while, you're sitting there and seems like all the members of the press are in and nothing's happening. No one's showing up. And with a glance to the side, you can see that even Colonel Hodge is looking around and appears to be kind of frustrated. And you see him like pull up his phone and he is like doing that kind of quiet shout, even though no one could hear him if he shouted full bore with the press talking there. But you can tell he's doing that. No, I need you to get over right now.
You see the colonel over there?
Yeah, I do.
Who do you think he's talking to?
My first guess would have been North Star, but
I mean, would he call North Star on a normal cell phone?
this would be weird.
I will say, some of you have telepathic powers, stuff like that. Feel free to just say, you can use your powers to check in, or you could try and, look around and assess the situation, whatever you want here. But
Yeah, I would like to use my telepathy to maybe check on Colonel Hodge to see or to hear what he thinks or what he's saying.
This is just a normal use of your powers. You don't even need to necessarily roll for this. It's hearing the mind of one person. And what you pick up from him is that Colonel Hodge is frustrated because he's trying to talk to other people who are organizing and running this, and nobody can find the 3 members of STARS.
Nova.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like nobody can find the 3 members of the STARS. At least that's what Colonel Hodge over there is thinking about.
I mean, do we just go over there and ask what's up? Or do you just peek a little bit deeper into his brain and find out a little bit more? Can you do that?
I can try. And could I try to use my telepathic abilities to see or hear any member of the STARS? For example, we know North Star, that I could maybe find her through that?
Oh, I love it. We're going to say this is definitely pushing your ability, so you're going to try and unleash your powers. So on the little dice rolling site, what you're going to do is roll those dice, and you're going to add your freak rating. So give the dice a quick roll for me. All right, so you rolled a 7, and you get +2 because of your current freak rating. So that gives you a 9. Now, like I said, anything from a 7 and above is called a hit. This game's version of a success. A 7 to 9 is a soft hit, which means you're succeeding but not completely. So, as you're attempting to do this, on a 7 to 9, you may either choose to mark a condition, or you can allow me to tell you how this effect is unstable or temporary. Which would you like to do?
The latter one.
The latter. Okay, so you're not taking a condition, but I'm going to tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. And so the way that it's unstable or temporary is as you're reaching out and you're pushing your consciousness further out, trying to search, you stretch it further and further, and your vision starts to flicker and fade. And then for a moment, it seems off because it feels like it feels almost like your telepathy is being smacked around, and your vision is blurry, and you feel unfocused. You feel almost like you're about to pass out. And right before you manage to kind of pull back and prevent that from happening, you realize it's not because your telepathy is failing that this is happening. It is because that is what North Star is currently experiencing. And you realize this, and it reels back into you, and suddenly you hear all the voices of the press, shouting again and all this stuff, and you realize what has happened.
North Star is kind of dizzy and nearly passing out right now. I can't find her, but I know something's wrong.
Can you try the others? Have you seen those? Can you do that? Or any idea where? Or
could I try to reach the others even if I haven't seen them or interacted with them yet?
I would say it seems unlikely. If you don't know their mind, you're not exactly sure what you're looking for. That seems extreme. But I will say, as you're trying to push out, see if you can notice anything, you hear something from Colonel Hodge. What do you mean there are 3 more members of the press? Everyone's checked in right now.
I can't find the others, but there are apparently 3 new members of the press right now, somewhere, although everyone who should be here is already here.
Wait, you're saying that he's saying that there are more people in here than there are supposed to be?
Yeah, I guess.
And why don't you, I'll give you a little guidance here. Why don't one of you attempt to assess the situation for me? So one of you can roll the dice, and you would be adding your superior to that.
Then I'm just gonna do that. Roll.
All right.
That's 4 plus 1, 5.
5. So that is a miss. Now this is where I get to have my fun. Because I never roll dice in this game. The one time that I get to do my moves, either if there's a lull in the action or whatnot, if it makes sense, or if one of the players rolls a miss. So as you've missed, you're attempting to take in this situation and figure out what all of this means. And as you're trying to figure out what this means and getting confused, you do not notice as one of the members of the press suddenly throws off a cloak and leaps up on the stage, throwing a punch at you, and you're going to take a condition as this thing surprises you. How do you think you would feel about being suddenly taken advantage of in this situation? Do you feel like it would make you afraid, angry, guilty, hopeless, insecure?
Probably angry the most.
All right.
So yeah, angry.
So yeah, this thing has taken you by surprise. You now have the angry condition, and this member of the press throws a punch at you, and you are both suddenly standing face to face, and you can see the eyes of this member of the press suddenly light up, and there's a red light emanating from the eyes as it stands there. And at this point in time, what would either one of you like to do? There isn't official engaging in combat necessarily. You can do whatever you think you would like to do. Whoever wants to act can act. We kind of decide turn order as it makes sense for what you all want to do.
Try to subdue him. I don't know, grapple him or grapple them, and so they can't throw further punches at us or me.
All right, so that is going to be directly engaging a threat. This thing is a threat. You are choosing to deal with it in a very straightforward manner. So directly engage a threat, you're going to roll the dice and add your danger rating to that.
Then let's do that. 7.
All right. So, here's how directly engaging a threat works. By definition, you're both going to take a condition when you directly engage a threat. Well, so the enemy will take a condition, which is the equivalent of their health too. You're either going to, depending on how things go, take a condition or be dealt a powerful blow. And I haven't decided which it'll be yet. You got a 7. So on a 7 to 9, you get to pick one of these. So you could choose to resist or avoid their blows, so that way you will not take a condition or a powerful blow. You could choose to take something from them, which they don't necessarily seem to be holding anything. Create an opportunity for your allies. That could be you're trying to grapple and hold this thing. That would be creating an opportunity that then outsider could act on. Or you could just try and impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition, which can have narrative effects. It's, maybe or maybe not the best way. But you got a 7 and 9, you get to choose just one of those. And remember, if you don't choose to resist or avoid their blows, you will take either a condition or a powerful blow.
Well, I was thinking of kind of grappling them, so I would probably create an opportunity for outsider.
All right. So you're choosing to create an opportunity for your allies. So this thing will take a condition from that. In return, you are going to take a condition, and I'm going to suggest it might be afraid, because as this person looks human, it's throwing punches at you. You manage to kind of push it aside and get its arms back behind its back to hold it. And as you're holding it like that, you see the head twist around facing you. And as it does, the skin rips away and you see a robotic visage underneath staring at you. So I might suggest afraid or maybe insecure, either one that you think might work. But this is very, very shocking that it just suddenly happens.
I think afraid works best in this instance.
All right. And it has taken a condition, which means whenever a bad guy takes a condition, they get to do a condition move. It's usually something a little more minor. And since it has taken angry, it is going to break the environment, is the condition move it does. And so as you're holding on to it and it's trying to struggle to get away from your grasp, you see like its foot suddenly splits apart into all these robotic limbs and smashes down into the stage. And the stage begins to crumble and collapse forward toward the members of the press. In this moment, outsider, you could do something, unless if you want to let Nova go again, you certainly can, but it is up to you guys.
Yeah, if I see the stage crumble towards the press, I would like to try to control the density of the stage and lower the density. So it's just like styrofoam hitting the press.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. So
while
you are
to fly towards Nova.
Perfect.
To help him
so what you're trying to do is defend someone or something. You're attempting to defend NPCs from an NPC threat. So you're going to roll plus your savior.
All right.
Ooh.
That's a 10.
So that is a 10. So the nice thing is, on this one, if you had gotten a soft hit, you would have exposed yourself to danger or escalated the situation. But you take control of this. So you absolutely save these people. You control the density of all this rubble, and half of it flies harmlessly overhead, and the other half people are able to bat away. You have absolutely saved all these people, and you can choose to either add a team point to the pool. I didn't mention, but you all start off with 1 team point where if someone else is taking an action and you feel you could justifiably help them, you can add 1 to them by using a point from the team pool. You start off with 1 automatically. So you could add a point to that pool. You could take influence over someone that you protect. So you could take influence over, I would say, kind of the members of the press as a kind of group NPC. I wouldn't make you choose like, who do you think, CNN or ABC? Who are you influencing?
Take the right one.
Or if you have a condition, you could choose to clear a condition just because you feel so good about it. But I don't think you've taken any conditions, so.
I would probably add 1 in the one to the team pool.
All right. So you now have 2 points in your team pool. And you've successfully protected these people. And you are flying towards Nova. So either Nova, you could attempt to act at this point, or you can let the outsider act again.
I would give it again to outsider if you want to do something.
Okay, I have something in mind that I could do. Do I see that Nova is holding the hands of the robot?
Yes, I will say, and since he's holding the hands, I'm going to say the opportunity he's giving you will give you a +1 forward on any move you make against this robot. So +1 forward just means, the next action you take against him, you're getting a bonus.
Okay, then I would like to try to density control the hands of the robot and make them incredibly heavy, so it's maybe heavy or difficult for the robot to use them. And maybe even pin him to the ground.
Interesting. That is some creative power use. I am going to say that'll be, the robot is a threat, so I'm going to say you're directly engaging a threat. So if you could roll the dice plus your danger.
That's a 6.
That's a 6. You've got a -1 to your danger, a +1 forward. Now here's the other thing I'll say. If you want, this could be the point where, Emil, if you wanted to use, you're helping out, I could say you're completely justified to use a point from the team pool to give outsider that 1 more to actually get a hit.
Yes, definitely then. Go ahead.
All right, so your team pool is back down to 1. With that extra 1, it brings it up to a 7. And so now you get to choose. You're both going to take a condition from this, but you can choose to resist or avoid their blows, so you don't take a condition or anything. A condition or a powerful blow. You can choose to take something from them. You can choose to create an opportunity for your allies, or you can choose to impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. Because you do know, they did say that there was more than 1 member of the press, and only 1 has jumped forward at this moment. So impressing or surprising might give you a benefit against future ones, but up to you. How would you like to handle this?
I would like to try to surprise or frighten the opposition, maybe.
Perfect. Okay. So, in doing this, with Nova holding on, you land some blows. And as you're smashing this thing, it kind of breaks free. Its hands fall down from that density control that you've done. And at the last moment, you see this thing start to spark as it seems to overpower its circuits and swings up with this hand that you've made more dense. And it's not going to give you a condition. You're going to take a powerful blow as this thing clobbers you. But in doing so, it is overexerting itself, and this thing basically explodes into pieces as it does this. Boop, 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 boop. Take a powerful blow. Oh, don't go further. You're going to roll plus the number of conditions you have marked. currently you have no conditions. So you're going to roll a die, and this one you want to be smaller, because the higher it is, the worse that things are going to be for you.
A 2.
Beautiful.
Oh, damn.
Hell yes. Describe to me how you absolutely avoid any kind of damage from this. Like, how do you weather this blow?
I just fly backwards and upwards. As soon as I see the spark in the core, or what it is, the explosion, I would just push myself off him and then fly backwards.
It looks like you've had to put in no effort. Like, this was nothing to you. And because of how beautifully you do this, this is how you end up kind of stunning and surprising the next robot that leaps onto this, or the next human who leaps up onto the stage. And it is going to try and grab at you. I'm going to say... Well, no, you know what? It jumps on stage. You guys have been landing the hits. I'm going to let you decide what you do next as this thing appears. And because it is kind of surprised by the fight that you're putting up, you're going to get +1 forward against it. So the first move made against this thing, you've got +1. Now, once again, you can directly engage this thing. You can attempt to, assess the situation, see if there's anything else you have to keep an eye out for, whatever you want to do. Just don't even necessarily think of moves, just think of how you want to handle this situation.
So, just for me, one of them just exploded by overcharging. The other now jumps onto the stage.
Yep. Basically, the one you were holding, the outsider landed some blows. This thing tried to swing back. It had to completely overcharge its system to lift its extremely dense hand, and that just broke it to pieces. You're now probably holding just a severed, human skin covered robot arm amidst the pieces that are just falling around you.
Okay, I have a question regarding Nova's elemental control. Elemental control means all kinds of elements. The 4 elements we know. Does electricity count as that as well? Could I maybe use the electricity that is in that robot that exploded maybe and use it as a blast against the one that jumped onto the stage?
Absolutely. I love it.
Then I'm gonna try that. Not do that, try that.
All right. So once again, you're basically directly engaging this. So that is going to be a roll plus your danger +1 forward against this robot, because the outsider has so surprised this little gang that's coming up for you.
Okay, so I just roll. That's
a
7
That's
plus my danger, 8 plus 1, 9.
So you got a 9. You're 1 away from getting a hard hit, but
wait. Since I'm afraid, don't I get -2 to engage? So 7?
Oh, that is right. Yep,
Perfect.
you are currently afraid. So unfortunately,
then it's a 7.
Yep, it's a 7. It's still a hit. So you are going to trade blows. Which one of the options do you want? Do you want to avoid taking any blows from them, take something, create an opportunity, or impress, surprise, or frighten?
I think I am again gonna try and create another opportunity for Outsider, as I think Outsider is closer to it now.
Alrighty. Yeah. So, you're zapping this electricity, and that is going to definitely make this thing completely focus on you, which is going to mean Outsider is going to have this +1 forward advantage on this thing. However, in doing so, you've left yourself open and vulnerable, and this thing charges forward, and you see that its two arms jut forward, ripping out of the skin, exposing robotic limbs that connect together into almost a battering ram that just pounds right into your chest. And I'm going to need you to roll taking a powerful blow. So you're going to roll plus, you've got, I believe, 2 conditions marked, angry and afraid. So a roll plus 2.
Roll plus 2. That's a 6.
That is a 6. Beautiful. So you have also completely weathered this blow. Like, how do you handle it? How exactly do you see Nova dealing with this battering ram just launching right at him?
I think Nova's more or less is head first through the wall guy, so probably just taking the blow, but trying to just hold the battering ram now. Getting hit by it, getting pushed back on the stage, and then just gripping with both of his hands this battering ram in front of him.
Beautiful. And that is a perfect opportunity. However, this thing is also going to do a condition move, because you've also managed to put a condition onto this this robot. I'm going to say that it's feeling a little hopeless, like these robots are unable to handle you the way they thought they could. And so it is going to veer toward drastic and terrible action. And as you hold on to it, you see that parts of its chest shift and interlock upwards, exposing a glowing core that is beginning to rev up wildly with energy. Like the hum of energy gives you the feeling that if you don't do something about this robot quick, it's going to get very bad. And at this point in time, the members of the press are running out of here pretty wildly. So what would you all like to do?
Do I see the core revving up?
Yes, you can see Nova holding on to this thing and the body like shifting and exposing this core and building up a dangerous charge.
Then I would like to try to fly over to Nova, grab him, and fly away with him.
Perfect.
Or at least
so
away
that is
from the robot on the stage.
Absolutely. So that is going to be, you're going to be defending someone or something. So I need you to roll plus savior.
A 4.
So you go flying down and you grab onto Nova to attempt to fly away with him. Unfortunately, as you do so, 2 more little robotic limbs shoot out from the torso of this robot and latch around the both of you, keeping you in place as the charge builds and builds and this thing explodes. And I need each of you to roll to take a powerful blow. We'll start with Nova, if you want to roll that first. And you've got +2 because of your conditions.
12 total.
Ooh. So you get to choose one. You can either remove yourself from combat. Now, this can mean that you flee, that you're knocked out, or that you're just kind of like disabled and, just unable to keep fighting. You can lose control in a bad way. And I get to kind of decide, like, what happens with your powers that are bad. Or you can take 2 options from the 7 to 9 list, which are you either lash out verbally, provoking an ally, or using influence to inflict a condition, which means you could potentially inflict a condition on outsider. give an opportunity to the enemy, or mark 2 more conditions. Do take note, if you take all 5 conditions, you're automatically out. You don't get to take a powerful blow at that point.
Okay.
And you would have to choose 2 of those if you did that. So how would you like to proceed forward? It's absolutely up to you how you see yourself weathering this. And know that if you're like half knocked out in combat or something, it doesn't mean that I'm going to just like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to kill you then. You know, it's all about the drama. Whatever you think is going to be interesting and dramatic.
Okay, what's going to be the most interesting and fun to see is lose control in a bad way.
Alrighty, beautiful. And before we resolve that, Niels, could you give me a roll, please? Let's see how the outsider.
I rolled a 6.
So you managed to do this. How do you think you weather this particular blow? There is an explosion. The Nova is like smashed back hard from this, but how are you weathering this, do you think?
Can I just hide behind Nova? If so, then I would do that.
Absolutely. You hide behind Nova. I should say, for all the times that you have taken a powerful blow, you would also actually all be marking potential. I don't usually do it on one-shots because potential's kind of XP. Once you get 5 at the end of a session, you can like advance your character. Obviously, it's not really going to happen, but it's a neat thing to know. So yeah, you managed to weather this blow, barely kind of getting behind Nova. Nova, this surge of flaming energy hits you, but you have elemental control. And without even trying, your body reacts. You are absorbing this energy and trying to contain it, and it goes wrong. Where suddenly, as you're trying to contain this energy, it erupts out of you as this like beam that you can barely control, and you slice through walls and the ceiling, and half of this place comes crumbling down. Fortunately, the members of the press had already evacuated, but you have destroyed a major part of Star headquarters. And
stay on the job.
Yep. As you're like standing there and the dust and debris is clearing, you see that one member of the press is still standing there, staring at you. What would you two like to do?
They said 3, right?
Do I see Colonel Hodge anywhere?
Roll to assess the situation. You're trying to see who's around, stuff like that, so give me a roll plus superior. This is a strong stat for you. Holy smokes. So yeah, you got a 12. You may ask 2 questions from that list, and I will absolutely answer truthfully. And whatever answers you get, if you're acting upon them, you'll get a +1 to that move.
What here can I use to save Nova?
To save Nova, you feel that in this situation, the best thing that you can do is to use your powers and maybe some of the rubble and debris to help protect Nova from any advances this last robot person might make, though they are not currently moving.
Okay, and how could we best end this quickly?
You feel that the best way to end this quickly is to either see if you can't take this robot out quick before it can explode, or potentially trying to talk with it since it doesn't seem to be acting violently in this moment. You feel there may be an opportunity to attempt to figure out what it wants.
Okay. Then I would probably wait for Nova or look at Nova to see what he does. After just Using the energy of the explosion to explode himself.
The roof, not myself.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Oh, good. A difference. Well, I guess Nova has probably had enough of this. Nova sees the last member of the press in quotation marks. We don't know. I see them, right?
Yep, you can see them. They're just standing in the slowly clearing smoke and debris.
What do we do about that one?
Okay, then I'll guess I'll just take a pebble and try to throw it as hard as I can. And then shift the density to a lot while doing that and throwing it at the robot.
Beautiful. So you're going to roll me to directly engage a threat. And you get, it's your danger, but you have that +1 forward because you did ask how to act on that. So basically you'll have no bonus to this. It is a straight up roll.
And that's a miss.
That is a miss. And as you hurl that stone at this thing, you notice it's standing perfectly still. Time seems to slow down as you see the eyes glow red for a moment, and then they shift over to this sapphire blue. And as they shift sapphire blue, this thing, its arm shoots forward and catches on to the stone that you threw, holding it. And you both suddenly have this familiar feeling as you see these glowing blue eyes, and you hear a voice emanate from this thing that you have heard once before when you were fighting for the life of the city against the army of Relic, the ancient AI. And it goes, "I have miscalculated how much of a danger you would be. But your powers are inconsequential. I am done with you." And as it says that, since you rolled a miss, I'm going to say, what kind of move do I want to do here? No, that's going to be my move. It is, it's kind of revealing a little bit of stuff to you. And so, it says this, how do you react?
God, I really had enough of this. Could I try to, I don't know, yeah, why not try that? Can I don't know, with the residue elemental energy I have from that burst I just did, maybe throw like a whip at them and try to pull them closer to us?
Oh, absolutely. I love it. Roll me to directly engage a threat. Roll plus danger.
Go.
Beautiful. All right, you may pick 2. So you're automatically inflicting a condition. You can choose to avoid any blows from this thing, take something from them, create an opportunity, oppress, surprise, or frighten, whichever you'd like. Pick 2.
I would resist or avoid their blows and create an opportunity for outsider ones more. As I pull them
Beautiful.
closer to us. And as I do that, I say, calculate this.
Oh. So yeah, you do this. You're inflicting the angry condition on this thing. You're making a perfect opportunity for outsider to get another blow. And you're avoiding any blow that this thing is taking from you.
Then I would just like to run over there and punch the robot with all I've got.
All right, roll me to directly engage a threat, and you've got that +1. With your danger at -1, you're back at a 0 bonus. And you just make it. What would you like to do for your pick 1 from that list?
This might sound stupid and it might not work, but could I take the power core from it?
Absolutely. Why not?
Then I would like to try that.
Heck yeah.
No, you don't even have to try that. You do it. You leap forward and you grab on to the core of this thing. You've seen where they're at, and you tear it right out of its chest. And as you do, you are going to take a condition, because it looks at you as it's like powering down and says, "This does not matter. You are of no consequence. I have what I need." And so what condition do you think you might take from that?
Probably afraid or insecure.
All right, whichever you think. I will leave that up to you. However you think you might deal with that.
Then let's go with insecure.
Alrighty then. So yeah, you're feeling a bit insecure after that whole moment. And with that, this thing falls to pieces. And as the rubble is clearing, Colonel Hodge is going to kind of walk in over big pieces of the roof, see you two, and be like, "Wonderful. So this is the kind of heroics that North Star wanted joining your little team. Do you have any idea how much damage you've done with this little stunt? Heroes would never have let this happen." And he's staring at you as he says this, Nova. He is attempting to shift your savior down and your danger up. Do you feel like you want to resist this influence, or are his words striking true? Keep in mind, and I'll kind of show you here, if you are trying to reject someone's influence, if you do try and reject it, but you miss, you will not only still have your labels shifted the way I wanted, but you'll also get a condition from it. But if you do resist and you get well, you might be able to clear a condition. You can shift your own labels, or you could get rid of the influence that they have over you.
Nah, I'm just gonna let it happen.
All right, so your savior is shifting down by 1, and your danger is shifting up. So he kind of looks at you, he says all that to you, and he kind of like looks around at this and he says, "What the hell just happened here? Would one of you two like to explain to me where my 3 actual heroes are and what the hell this was about?"
Let's say North Star is kind of passed out right now, as far as I know. Somewhere. And these 3 were part of the AI Relic, or at least Relic's army.
And can we talk about that for a second? It's your job to keep to make sure nothing like this enters this building, right?
Ooh.
This is not on us, but or at least not all on us, but also on you.
You know what I'm gonna say? You're kind of provoking him at this point.
Yeah?
You're saying some stuff, so give me a roll plus superior.
100% I do that. That's
that
7
is a
plus
hit.
8. Yeah.
All right, soft hit. You can choose one. You can either choose that they stumble and you've got +1 forward on your next move against them, They err and you gain a critical opportunity, though what that would be with Colonel Hodge, I don't know. Or they overreact and you gain influence over them. I guess, well, they get to choose. So, Colonel Hodge is going to overreact. He is going to march up to you and be like, you listen here, you little shit. We had scanners and everything, and we had no reason to suspect that Relic would try and infiltrate because the stars took out his mainframe. Without the mainframe of Relic, his army shouldn't be operational. Even on their little, automated drone mode, they still need that master matrix or whatever to run it. So there's no way that it should have happened. But you can tell you've gotten under his skin, and you have influence over him now, so you get a +1 to any rolls against the Colonel.
Okay, then frickin' tell me what these detectors even detect, because obviously it's not metal or robots.
They should detect metal or robots. Relic isn't a normal robot. It ain't normal metal and shit inside of him. He's made of weird crap that we never fully understood. The only person who kind of understood is Quantum, and I can't get a hold of him. North Star, off the radar. Quantum, off the radar. Sharp, gone. The only person who wasn't supposed to be here and who still seems to be around is Kikimora. And he's off sulking in his damn apartment.
Then I think we should pay him a visit.
Colonel, takes a moment to think if he even wants to give you that information. But then he glances at Nova, and you can see there's still just that so under his skin that he's like, God damn it. And he writes down an address on a piece of paper and hands it over to you and says, you can find him there. Good luck. Guy's been a real sourpuss ever since he became one of the normals like us. But I suppose if anyone's gonna know anything about that frickin' Relic thing, it's probably him.
All right, Nova, you're good. You look kind of
good
shit.
Enough.
All right, shall we get going then?
Yes. Yes, we should. Yes. Let's get out of here.
All
Then
right.
we'll move to the place the Colonel just wrote down.
All right. So while you're headed over that way, I would always suggest, usually during any kind of downtime scene, which we can say travel is a bit of a downtime, might not be a terrible time to, you can have one attempt at the comfort and support action if you want, where each of you have taken some kind of condition. Nova, I think you've got 2 or 3 or
2.
2. Okay. It's not a bad time to get rid of them, though Nova, you might not want that because some of your powers, if you want to be charged up, you can do that roll where your conditions actually benefit you. So,
again, a question: how does that exactly work?
So let me bring up your specific sheet. Oh, for your burn, that's kind of your own special move, where you're taking these conditions and this frustration after this first battle. And I could say even right now, you could attempt to, well, in fact, we'll do the roll for it. Your burn, you're going to try and charge up your power. You're taking this emotional frustration that you have and trying to create burn from it. So you're going to roll plus your conditions. You've got 2 conditions, so it's a roll plus 2. Beautiful.
12.
So you got a hit. You get 3 burn. So those 3 burn, basically you can use them at any point in time. You've got a hold 3 are basically little things that you can use at any later point in time during the session. So you've got 3 on hold. Normally, if you had gotten a 7 to 9, you would take another condition from doing this. Stewing on your emotional stress is not necessarily a healthy way to cope. But no, you managed to do it without problem. So you've got 3 burn, and you can spend those on your one of your 4 flares. So, which flares did you choose?
I did choose the Reality Storm, the Elemental Awareness, the Overcharge, and the Shielding.
All right. Beautiful. So, like for Reality Storm, it's kind of your own special version of directly engage a threat. You channel a destructive burst with your powers, spend 1 burn to directly engage a threat using your powers, rolling plus freak instead of plus danger. If you do, you will cause unwanted collateral damage unless you spend another burn. So since your freak is higher than your danger, that's beneficial to you, though it's also a little uncontrollable and kind of bad, so you might want to think about that. But yeah, so now you basically have 3 burn that you can spend on these special moves, most of which is just going to be alternative ways to roll certain things or just have certain different narrative effects that you like. So we'll say you did that, charging that. And now if you two wanted to try and do comfort or support each other, you certainly can. Though do know that if you miss, I still get to make a GM move and it might be bad, so... So did either one of you want to try and comfort the other? I would say, because right now you two have worked together. You know each other. Outsider, you can absolutely tell that Nova is both afraid and pretty pissed off about what just happened here.
Yeah, I would try to
Nova, you can also tell that Outsider is feeling a little insecure after what just happened, so... If you want to comfort or support each other, you certainly can, but, just know that if you screw up, it's just like when you screw up trying to talk to a friend who is in an emotionally bad place. Things don't get better, they get worse.
Oof.
Yeah, I would like to try.
All right, so first tell me, how does Outsider try and comfort Nova? You see that Nova is kind of scared at this whole situation. You two are taking on Relic alone, something that almost destroyed the city, and, is pretty angry. And while anger might help fuel Nova's power, it has also caused some pretty bad destruction in the past. So how are you trying to handle this?
Nova, look at this. You are one of the best humans I've ever met. Fair, I haven't met that many yet, but you're one of the best I've ever met. So you shouldn't be afraid. We two together can do this. We have to do this.
But can we?
And then I roll plus mundane,
yep,
right?
Roll plus mundane, which it's not your strong suit as an outsider.
But I chose the outsider move, the best of them, which changes that from mundane to freak.
Ooh, perfect.
Boom.
And
So
that'll be just enough to make that a hard hit. You get a 10 from that. So on a 10, so Emil, you get to choose. You can either clear a condition if you want to. You could shift your labels, 1 up and 1 down if you wanted to. Or you could mark potential, which, like I said, it's a one-shot, gaining experience potential. Not really going to come into play here, so.
I think I'm just gonna remove afraid.
All right, awesome. So you clear a condition, and Outsider, you've done such a good job. You can choose to either add 1 to the team pool, or you could clear a condition yourself, so you could clear the 1 condition you've got.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, you don't even need the support of Nova. Gosh, you're so great yourself. It's like, why am I so insecure? What have I got to be insecure about? I'm a great friend.
I'm good at this human thing.
I am good at humaning or something like this. I can do this.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
So you arrive. Yep. You arrive at a very nice apartment complex and everything. This is pretty swanky place. And up in the penthouse, the top floor, you arrive at the door for none other than Kikimora, apparently.
Well, we ring the doorbell, knock on the door, whatever fits here. Right?
Yeah, you do. You ring a doorbell, and there's a little, it's one of those, nice fancy digital doorbells with a security cam on it. And after a moment, you hear a voice come through a little speaker on it that goes, "What?"
We need to talk to you, Kikimora, about an attack at the ceremony for our... Is the word inauguration?
Yeah, I'd say that worked, yeah.
Okay, perfect. I just didn't know a better word, so I used that. The other stars are missing.
There is a long pause after that sigh, and just when you're getting ready to either try and ring the doorbell or knock or something, you see the door open up, and standing there is a very gaunt, gangly, and extremely pale man. His skin is almost white, platinum blonde hair, but his eyes are just kind of sunken in. He looks like he hasn't eaten a good meal in weeks. And he's probably about 6'2". And he opens the door and stares at all of you, standing in his bathrobe, and he's like, "These are the two little punks they got to replace me. And you blew up the base. And you lost the others. Wow, they did real good, huh?" And he just turns around and walks into the apartment. The door is wide open for you. And you can see that it's a very nice, swanky apartment, aside from the assortment of empty liquor bottles everywhere and the stench of unwashed man and cigarette smoke and stale beer and liquor just fills this place.
Well, I guess
I
we
would follow him.
Yeah.
He goes in, plops down on a couch, reaches between the couch cushions and pulls out a bottle of whiskey that's mostly empty, stares at the both of you, and holds it out a sec to offer you a drink as if that's something you were looking for.
How old are we even? We're teenagers,
you're teenagers, so
no. I mean, even for Jones, whiskey isn't allowed, so...
Thank you, but no. Mr. Kikimora? Or
sure,
just Kikimora?
Why not? You can call me Brad. That's all I frickin' am now. So, let's just go with that. What the hell do you want? I'm not gonna be able to help you find them. You're the new superheroes now, huh? Go find whatever weird alien or demon or mad scientist took them, huh?
Actually, it's Relic.
Yeah, he all of a sudden, you have his interest, and he sets the bottle down, and he's like, "What did you say? Relic's dead."
Actually, it's Relic.
Not according to those 3 robots.
No. I lost my frickin' powers. Fighting that thing, getting blown up, and waking up in a hospital, wrapped in bandages, no longer able to do the one thing I could do. We destroyed it. Okay? I saw the mainframe blow up from pretty close up, so I'm pretty sure I saw what I saw. So what exactly makes you think that I failed?
I just pull out the core. Does this seem familiar to you in some way?
He stands up and tries to grab the core from you, and he's staring at it furiously. Shit. God damn it. I lost my powers. And we didn't even take him out, huh? So what? Why are you here? Why rub it in my face? I'm not a hero anymore. You took over and I still didn't do anything. What do you think I'm going to put my fucking costume back on and go join you?
Well, at least I wasn't here to rub anything in your face, but I was just here to ask for some information because you were the only one we could reach to actually meet Relic and have maybe the information we could need.
You know, I don't want those other 3 assholes to die. Even if they kicked me out because I couldn't get my juice back in time. Replace me with some frickin' kids who can't even fight off a couple drones. All right, look, the way that we tracked him down before is the little ones. This little power source, this is nothing. Relic, the main unit that controls everything else, what's supposed to be the mainframe, is a lot bigger power source that operates on a certain frequency. I couldn't frickin' tell you what it is. That's what quantum does. I don't give a shit. As long as I can sneak up and punch it, you know? But, I don't know. If you can figure out some way to track down a bigger power source, you know, it's probably still somewhere in the city then. And I'm guessing wherever that thing is, taking revenge on us destroying its first mainframe, I guess, then you'll probably find him. I don't know. Go mess around with the lab equipment back at the place, or talk to someone who has access to, like, the power grid or something. You know, you could talk to the colonel, or I don't know.
Not a good idea.
You know the police captain, Captain Austin. She's got connections
Not a good
around
idea.
the fucking city. Yeah, no, she's got a stick up her butt a mile long and 2 miles wide. I wouldn't want to deal with her either. So
Don't they both, the colonel and the captain?
Colonel's not so bad. You know, you get a few drinks in him. He just, well, he's not very fond of kids.
We know that.
Anyway, get out there and save those 3 pricks. You know, tell them I say hi.
I will. We will? We will.
Yeah, okay, let's go with that. We will.
All right, so who would you all like to deal with?
So, do you think, outsider, that if we can get access to the power grid, maybe I could, with my elemental control, feel from where the most energy is used? He probably needs a lot of energy for that mainframe.
I mean, I can't. So, and
Maybe
I've
I
seen
could.
you use energy to do that. So, sure.
We can try.
Yeah. I love that. I hadn't even considered it. We're going to say, so you're going to find like a power junction or something that you can connect to, and this is going to be unleash your powers. You are going to roll plus freak.
Roll plus freak. My freak is 3. This is also not affected by my anger. So that's a 10.
That is a 10. Beautiful. So this effect, it is perfectly stable. You manage to connect to this, and it takes you a few moments as you feel your senses sprawl out around the city, and you feel like little increases here and there where you're like, oh, is that it? You know, there's more energy there, and oh, there's a little more there. until you suddenly encounter this massive surge that makes every other little peak in energy look like an anthill compared to a mountain, as you suddenly feel the most energy you could imagine. And it is located within the dam that is holding back a large lake near the city.
Okay, he's at the dam. I know that for certain.
Okay, then we can take my car.
You have a car?
I have a Kirby Craft.
Oh yeah,
Well, let's
you
go
have
then.
your spaceship that you kind of get around and everything.
My
Yeah, absolutely.
car.
Oh,
Yeah, it's fast and
Ford
maneuverable,
Mustang, but only
regenerating,
alien.
but susceptible to ice and easily detectable. So let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
beautiful. So, yeah, you get in that thing and you just cruise over to the dam in no time. And
Are you even
yeah,
allowed to
as you
drive?
get to the dam, I will even say without a roll, especially because we're gonna have to consider time a little bit here, so I'll make sure that we don't get too close to anything bad. But outsider, with your telepathy, you notice a distinct lack of that slight presence of other minds as you get here. Which
Okay.
doesn't make sense for a, large dam that is also like generating power and all that stuff in the city. There should be quite a few people here operating this thing, and it does not feel like there are, at least, biological minds that you're familiar with.
I am Nova. I can't feel any telepathic presence here at all.
Yeah. And I'll say
No
this is
people?
just kind of a general feeling. If you wanted to prod further, you could certainly unleash your powers, but that's just the general sense I'm going to say that you get.
I would like to probe again for North Star's telepathic signature.
Absolutely. Roll me unleash your powers. Roll plus freak.
That's a 7.
Yep. Thank heavens for that 2 and freak. Do you want to take a condition from stressing yourself, or do you want me to tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary?
I think I would get afraid by that because I haven't sensed any other humanoid mind in the vicinity.
All right, so we'll say if you're going to get afraid, here's what I'm going to say the reason this happens. You reach out further looking for North Star's mind, and you find it. It is unconscious, but you find North Star's mind, and next to it, you see 2 other unconscious minds that you're not familiar with. And as you're detecting them, the reason you're getting the afraid is suddenly it is as if, like, if your telepathy was just like a stream drifting out and touching these minds, it is if something grabs that telepathy and stares back at you, and you see blue sapphire eyes going, "There is nothing you can do." And it just reels back and almost knocks you backward as you feel that fear just hit you.
Oh God. Oh God. North Star is in there, unconscious. And I think Relic knows. At least he
Relic
told
knows.
me. It knows.
Oh, Relic knows we're here.
Relic knows and said there is nothing we can do here. Oh boy. Oh boy. So what are we going to do?
Nothing. No. I think we have to get in there and free the other 3 first, because I don't think we can beat Relic, just us 2. the last time it cost Kikimora his powers, and now it's just us two. And like he said, and Colonel said, we are just two kids.
Okay, priority one.
Priority one is find the three, hope we can wake them up, and then see if we can do something against Relic.
As you're saying this, the large a large door that looks like it is for like a garage door for trucks to pass through lifts open, and you see an army of Relic drones standing there. Now, these don't look nearly as formidable as the three that came at you at your little ceremony, but there is a small army of them, and they are marching toward you. What would you all like to do?
Shall we? And I pick up Nova and fly up a few feet.
I would try to use the reality storm from my burns and see if I maybe can take out several of them.
Absolutely. So what I'll kind of tell you here, when you're facing real, just small minion-y bad guys and stuff like that, this isn't even necessarily considered a major, like the whole group of them is kind of the threat. And so you're not going to be fighting individuals in this case. But yeah, your reality storm. So give me a roll for that. And that ends up being plus your freak, correct?
Roll plus freak, correct. That's a 10.
With that, so you're basically doing a specialized version. I probably passed it. Good golly, Klaus. Of directly engage a threat. And so, now, are you spending just the one burn where there's like collateral damage and whatnot, or are you spending 2 of your 3 burn?
I think I'm going to spend 2 for this one.
Okay, so no collateral damage. I want you to, so A, you get to pick 2. Do you want, which 2 options would you like to add to that?
Resist or avoid their blows, definitely, and impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. So probably surprise or frighten them into maybe halting for a short second. So yeah,
beautiful. So what I'm going to say happens here. How does this reality storm look like? Because you are going to decimate this entire group that was coming at you.
We are at a dam.
Yep.
So could I use my elemental control powers to just conjure up a big tidal wave to wash them all away?
Oh, absolutely. You pick them up in this tidal wave, and it carries them at an unreal speed, smashing them against the wall nearest you. And with that, the way is kind of opened up for you to proceed into the dam. That took care of that entire group in one massive blow.
Without collateral damage. And look at Outsider and say that kind of proud of myself.
But yeah, so Outsider, you lifted Nova up, and Nova just wiped out these things, clearing the way for you all to go inside. What would you all like to do next?
I would like to fly through the gate with Nova while I look proudly at him, because he looked at me like he was proud. So I am proud as well, I guess.
Fantastic.
I'm not accustomed to human behavior yet.
Yeah, you do that. As you're flying in, I'm going to say you've retained a little bit of that telepathic pathway toward where North Star was. And following along it, you come to a second room where there is another group of these drones, relic drones, standing all around. But they look at you, and you can tell that there is a moment of hesitation as they are trying to process you two's abilities because you're clearly taking them by surprise. So whatever you two do next, you're going to have +1 forward to your action against them.
Do you want to take the lead on that, Niels?
Yeah, sure. I would
Then
like
please.
to just change all the densities to crushing heights. Let's say that. So they just crumble beneath themselves.
I love that. And at this point, it's maybe not even a direct assault. I'm going to let you roll this. They've almost become more of an obstacle at this point. You guys are charging in. You are not going to be slowed down. And so these robots have become an obstacle. And so you are going to unleash your powers. Give me a roll plus freak plus a bonus 1 with that. Oh, yes.
So that's
Absolutely. Describe the scene. There are no negative repercussions. You do this perfectly. So there are all these drones around. How does this go down?
I just stand in front of them holding my hands out and slowly shifting my palms down while their density just increases and increases and they just all crumble down and fall together.
It's like you're watching about 24 different empty soda cans just crumple. The sound is almost like that as they just as if they were nothing, and you completely make them take them out of the picture, and the way is once again clear, and you feel you are quite close to your unconscious teammates.
Well, should we
Then
continue then,
I'll-
outsider?
I'll follow the telepathic path I still have.
Perfect. So you charge forward and you come through and you find yourself in a room. There is this loud thrumming as you hear the generators of this dam creating all this energy. But you can see that connected to all the generators are these strange, almost alien-looking pieces of stone and other odd substance machinery, almost overcharging them with a energy that is glowing bright red. And the amount of energy it's producing, as you step in here, you can feel it almost like a fog of energy that washes over you. It is unreal. And a little ways ahead, you can see suspended in 3 kind of crystalline chambers are the 3 unconscious heroes, North Star, Quantum, and Sharp. They are unconscious, and you can see beams of red energy shooting down through equipment through them and into this large cube that seems to be made of about thousands of other mechanical cubes, each of those shifting in ways that you imagine that every smaller cube is also composed of hundreds, if not thousands, of even smaller nanocubes. And this thing is shifting and rebuilding itself constantly with the energy flowing through those 3 heroes into the cube. And around the corner, you can see an 8-foot tall robot. And it has piercing, glowing, sapphire blue eyes as it looks at all of you and says, "You are exceeding my calculations, but you are still not of any concern. Leave now, and you may get to live in my world." Now, you
That's
can,
not
of
gonna
course,
happen.
charge right in and try and surprise him with an attack. You can feel free to assess the situation. You can feel free to pierce the veil, which is kind of trying to understand someone more deeply and ask questions specific of them. However you want to proceed, there's no wrong answer. So
Then I would like to assess the situation.
assess the situation. All right. So you're going to give me a roll plus superior.
That would be
6, 7, 8, 9. All right. With a 9, you may ask one of those 5 questions that you see listed there.
What tier can I use to free these stars?
You feel that the best way to free them might be to get rid of the equipment surrounding them that's pumping energy through them. You get this sensation the way it's flowing if you just try and pull them out of those strange crystalline chambers. You're not exactly sure how that might affect them. And if you act upon that, know that you have +1 for whatever move you do to do that. Nova, is there anything you wanted to do in this situation?
Is it possible to basically just charge up my burn again? Because I still have one condition. Right? Is that possible?
Yeah, I'll say in this, you're seeing this coming up. So yeah, you can try and charge your burn again. Go for it.
Then I will try that. This time this is +1. So that's a 9.
So 9. So you will have some consequence to that. Let me bring up the Nova sheet here really quick for my own. I don't know the Nova as well as
on a 7 to 9, mark a condition.
Ah, yes. So what condition do you take as you're seeing the situation and charging up your powers?
Let's go with insecure.
All right. So you're feeling a bit insecure. You're facing off against an extremely powerful foe who has somehow taken down the 3 most powerful heroes in the city. But you're not about to let that stop you. So you get 3 more burn.
3 more burns. So that means I have 4 now. Perfect. Well, kind of.
As good as it can get, I guess.
Could get. I could have gone better as well.
Nova, can you do something about those generators?
Let's destroy some stuff, right?
Yeah.
What I want to do, because it looks like these generators are powering the machines that are using our heroes as, I don't know, a catalyst, a transistor or something. Could I just try to use my reality storm to just destroy one of the devices on one of the generators around us?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say you can. I'm going to allow that.
Since this energy is flowing in this room, I probably just will use his energy against him and his gadgets, whatever. So that's roll plus freak, correct?
Yep.
Yep. That's a 6.
So that's a 9. So, I mean, you're not directly engaging a threat. You're dealing with another thing. I'll still let you use the reality storm. But I'm going to say that you're unleashing your powers with this one. You're trying to reshape the environment, overcome an obstacle. And so, at a 9. So actually, let's say this. Don't spend your burn. You can hold on to that.
Okay.
You can still kind of produce that same effect. But we're going to have you hold on to that. But you use this. How are you trying to destroy this? How are you utilizing your power? In what manner?
I will first of all kind of like charge up with the energy flowing around me, and then just, well, let's try the easiest one in the book. Shoot a beam at one of these instruments that are on these generators that should not be there, and see if I can shoot them off.
All right. Do you want now? Are you going to? Since you got a 9, you can either mark a condition, or you can, or I can tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Well, I will let you tell me how the effect is unstable or temporary.
So you hit that. The power flow begins to kind of fluctuate. You can tell you can see the hero's eyes flutter a little bit, and it is stopping some of the energy flow into the cube. So you feel like you've made progress, but you're still not certain if it's fully safe to let them out. And upon doing that, I am going to take a move where, upon seeing this, Relic is like, I have had enough of your interference. And you see suddenly the crystalline chamber around North Star glows bright, and she begins to like cry out in pain. And you see a beam going into that shifting cube, and it fires into Relic himself. And you see his body begin to shift with these cubes, and he suddenly looks more muscular, starts to fly, and he flies towards you and decks you. And he hits you with the force of North Star, sending you flying across the room. And I'm going to need you to roll to take a powerful blow.
And this was rather roll low, right?
Yep, you'd want it to be lower. Ooh, so how many conditions do you currently have?
2.
2. Thank heavens it's not 3. So with a 2, you have to choose one. Are you going to lash out verbally, provoking an ally? So to provoke an ally, you'd basically be trying to provoke Outsider to do something reckless in the situation, or you can use your influence to try and inflict a condition on Outsider. Probably not the best idea in this situation. Or you can give an opportunity to the enemy, or you can mark 2 more conditions, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend at this point, but it's up to you.
Nope. I think that I will lash out verbally at Outsider to provoke Outsider, and will lash out in the sense of
all right,
as I'm getting hit, can I I would just say, destroy the frickin' generators.
All right, so he is telling you to ignore this big bad guy and just go for the generators. And Emil, I want you to roll plus superior because this is provoking a PC.
That's 11.
All right.
Sorry, Niels.
So on a 10, it is both. And Niels, you still have the option. Outsider can either choose to do it, and you guys will also gain 1 to your team pool, or if you do not want to go for these generators because you want to deal with this threat, you can do it, but you'll take a condition for ignoring Nova.
I mean, Nova is getting beaten up and wants me still not to help him, so I guess he says I will not help him, so I will not help him and go for the generators instead.
All right, perfect. So yeah, you're doing it, so you guys are going to gain 1 to your team pool. You've got 2 in your team pool now. And so yeah, you are knocked back into the wall from this powerful blow, Nova, and Outsider. Now would be your chance. You get to act on being provoked, and you've decided you're going to listen. So how are you going to try and deal with those generators?
I figure Mind Blast isn't going to help me in any way, shape, or form here, right?
You know that Relic has a mind. It's a little foreign to you, but it's not going to help with the generator itself, okay. I wouldn't say. There's no mind to the generator.
Yeah, then I will just start punching the things on the generators.
Well, you know what? You do have kind of extra toughness and strength for being an outsider. So we're going to say roll Unleash Your Powers. Give me a roll plus Freak. And I know you had that insight into the thing, so you also get a +1 forward from your previous assessing the situation. So
all right,
you most definitely do 12. It. There is no backlash to this. You smash up that generator, and it starts to stop pumping the power through the heroes. And you see that this causes the beam that is going through North Star into Relic stops going, and he reshifts back down to how he looked before. And yeah, he kind of looks over at you, but I'll still say, how do you guys want to react at this point? It's still in your court.
I want to try to with my elemental control just when we're talking in D&D terms, heat metal on him. So I want to try to basically burn his shape and maybe try to. He knocked me into the wall, and I kind of want to try to grab his arms and heat them to the point where they basically are weldable, and then just crush them together so it's harder to use them, or he can't even use them at all anymore.
So that would be directly engage a threat. But I'd say you could use a reality storm at this point with one of your burns.
I will do that 100%, and I will use 2, so there's also no collateral on that one.
Beautiful.
And then roll plus danger. That's a
yes.
13.
So pick 2 on that, please.
On directly engage a threat, right?
Yep.
Resist or avoid their blows.
Beautiful.
And
very smart.
I don't know. Is take something from them? Would there be is taking from them take their hand from them? Is that an option, or?
I'll say I don't think I'd necessarily go that route. He's not really holding anything, so and you're not going to be able to rip his core out, because that would just be full death for him at this point.
I 100% want to impress him, to mess up his calculations a bit more.
You kind of impress and surprise him. You melt off its arms, and it pulls back, and you rip them off, this molten hunk. And as it drops, you see he regrows some new arms, but he is a little smaller now, and he is very angry about this. He absolutely did not expect you to be this much of a pain. Yeah, he is taking the angry condition, and I mostly have what I need. However, I clearly underestimated you. You would be useful assets, but I'm fine just getting rid of you. And you notice that he points an arm out, and it forms into a laser cannon and blasts the wall. And there's this moment of silence as you hear the wall start to crack a little. And you see, at first, just one drop of water run down that crack as you realize that's the water that it's holding back. You're in a dam. And that is what he is going to do in that moment. But so what would all of you like to do? Outsider, let's give it over to you.
The beam through North Star is gone, right?
Yes, the beam is no longer flowing through North Star. She's kind of shuffling in there a little. She seems still fairly trying to struggle to wake up at all.
Okay, and there are still 2 beams through each through one of the others, right?
Yes. Though they are kind of weakened and fluctuating a bit, so.
Then I would like to destroy another generator.
All right, go for it. Give me unleash your powers.
That would be a 8.
That is an 8. So, would you either like to mark a condition from this, or do you want me to tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary?
I think I'm getting a little angry because it takes so long to destroy these generators.
Yeah, so you'll take the angry condition from that. Which generator are you going for? Are you trying to stop the generator that is flowing into quantum? Or are you trying to stop the generator that is flowing into sharp?
Quantum.
All right, so yeah, you smash that generator and the energy stops flowing through quantum. Yeah, that happens. Nova, what are you doing while this is happening? You see Outsider is smashing this thing to pieces.
I want to go for the last generator, since there's still one hero that has a beam thrown through them. So I want to go for that next generator. Just, destroy it.
All right, roll me roll plus freak for unleash your powers.
5, that's an 8.
Yep. So, are you going to take a condition, or do you want me to tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary?
I will take a condition.
All right. So, yeah, I'm going to say the condition comes as you're breaking this. You narrowly avoid some very furious beam shots coming from Relic as he is trying to blast you as you are doing this. Yeah, Outsider, what you up to? The generators have all been powered down. No energy flowing through these heroes.
I would like to fly over to North Star's cage thing, and she's still struggling to get awake, right?
Yeah, she is still pretty unconscious.
Can I use my Mind Blast to awaken her faster?
Yeah, why not? Give me a try. I'm going to say that this is going to be defending someone. So give me a roll plus savior. That's a 10. All right. So yeah, you are helping her out and everything. Do you want to add to the team pool, take influence over someone you protect? So you could take influence over North Star, or you could clear a condition.
I would like to take influence over North Star.
All right. You have influence with North Star now. And thankfully, yeah, you got a 10. So you do not expose yourself to any danger because of that. Nova, you're still kind of like flipping around and dodging these laser blasts from Relic. What would you like to do in this situation?
Let's ask about this water. How much is there?
There's an entire huge lake. If that crack bursts, the torrent will be extreme. It could be enough to kill people. But it also doesn't look like it's necessarily about to burst, but it has been notably weakened.
Okay. I just wanted to see. There's not much water gushing into this room yet. Okay. I would try to engage with Relic and try to shoot an elemental beam of energy back at it. Kind of getting annoyed by all these other beams shooting at me.
Oh, absolutely. Are you using your reality storm or just a normal directly engage a threat? I know you still got some burn, so.
I think it's just a directly engage a threat for now. Gonna
all right, give me a roll plus danger.
That's a 5 plus danger is 7.
7. So hey, you do get 1. You are trading blows. but you only get to pick one at that point, so.
Then I will just resist or avoid their blows.
All right. You resist these blows. You take nothing from this. He is, however, getting to be a little insecure. And, let's see. So yeah, as he gets insecure, he's going to double down on Broken Plans or Ideas. I'm not supposed to say the name of the moves, but I'm saying them because it's a tutorial actual play, and I've tried to teach people, so normally a GM would just say what they're doing based on what the move, but I'm just saying it. That's life. He is... as he takes this blast and like falls backwards, this scorch mark on his chest, you see pieces of it falling away and his structure in these little cubes reforming and everything, but a bit of his mass lost. He charges over and forming his hand into like this small generator, slams it up onto the little crystalline cage that is holding Quantum. And you see he fires energy from himself into it. And suddenly there are 4 of him all around the arena as he exists in this connected quantum state. And he is all over the place doing this. So Outsider, you see this happen. What are you going to do?
North Star is awake now? Kind of?
She is awake. She flutters her eyes open, looks around. She's like, what's happening?
And I would like to smash the cage of North Star to free her.
You smash it, and she kind of falls in. I'll just say you can do this right now. There's no move for this. She falls into your arms weakly, and she seems almost kind of frail.
Then I would like to set her off somewhere at least not in punching distance of Relic.
All right, so we're going to have another defend action from you. You're going to defend someone or something, so give me a roll plus savior. So that's a 9. So it's still a hit. Do you want to add to the pool? You've already got influence over her, or you could clear a condition.
I would like add to the team pool.
Perfect. All right, your team pool is up to 3. However, you've exposed yourself to danger. As you set her down and turn around, there are suddenly 3 relics charging at you, and they all start beating you between them and tossing you across the room. And I'm going to need you to roll plus conditions because you are taking a powerful blow.
That's +2, whatever it takes. Okay, it's
so
7.
It'd be 5, 6, 7. So choose one. Lash out verbally, give an opportunity to the enemy, or mark 2 conditions.
I think just to see how this goes, I'm giving an opportunity to the enemy. Because this hasn't came up yet, so...
He hurls you across the room, and as you're flying across the room, Nova, you look to the side seeing this, and there's that moment of panic in your head where you're like, oh, I have to help outside, and as you're thinking that is when... you are about to take a powerful blow as the other relic that was created comes at you to deal a powerful blow. And this one basically just from behind, like, opens up its chest and just fires a beam of energy straight at you.
Then I just roll to take a powerful blow, right?
Yep, so roll plus the number of conditions you've got.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. Oofda. So, you either remove yourself from combat, lose control in a bad way, or take 2 options from the 7 to 9 list. And frankly, all of these options sound very fun.
I don't want to remove myself from combat, but I already lost control in a bad way. When I give opportunity to the enemy once again. So, what happens if I go to 5 conditions? That's still
if you
okay,
get 5 conditions, you are out. That will be removing yourself from combat instantly.
So I only have the option of lashing out verbally and giving an opportunity to the enemy, or losing control in a bad way.
Yep.
This sounds like perfect. This sounds perfect, really, it does. I don't know what to choose. It's gonna be
control. My camera just.
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna lose control once again. This fits. It fits perfectly. Gonna lose control here.
So you feel this blast of energy hit you. And as it does, once again, just reflexively, you begin to try and take that energy in like you did the explosion. But this energy is 10 times what that was. And it overwhelms you to the point where as you struggle trying to hold on to this, it blows up out of you and a wave of force crashes into the cracked wall of the dam. And you see the crack begin to spread and water beginning to trickle through. So that has happened. Outsider, as you kind of steady yourself, catching yourself as you fly across the room, you see this happen and you see that wave of energy hit the wall, and this room is in bad shape.
Okay, I have a theory which I have to test. I need to free Sharp out of the container. Because I have a theory that once he absorbed someone's powers, they are gone. And I have the hope that Sharp's powers hasn't been absorbed yet before we came here. So Quantum is gone. Northstar is gone.
All right.
Yeah.
Give me a defend someone action. Roll plus savior.
That's a 3.
Ooh. No!
Shit.
Oofda. There, and with no bonus, even a team pool would not help out that roll. You fly towards Sharp as fast as you can. And as you do, suddenly, Relic is in front of you, arm out, and grabs you by the throat as you see another one of the quantum relics slam the fist up, a little energy thing, and zaps power from Sharp.
Can I interject there real quick? One question.
Oh, please do.
My flare shielding says from immediate danger I protect someone. Could I protect Sharp from that danger theoretically, or would I have to do that when it's actually
No, you know what? I'm going to say absolutely. Roll that
I am going to
me.
try that. Rolling plus freak instead of savior. That's a 10.
That is a 10 for defend someone, so you don't even expose yourself to danger. You absolutely, Relic, you see him holding Outsider confidently, and the other one goes to try and drain the energy from Sharp, and it's little generator fist smashes against the shield that you've made, protecting Sharp from this. And what is the one thing that you want? You can either add to the team pool, take influence, or clear a condition.
Add to the team pool.
All right, you've got 4 in the team pool at this point. So yeah, you've done that. Outsider. You see that Nova has just managed to save Sharp. What are you up to in this situation? Also, I will say this, as that's happening, you notice the other quantum versions of Relic start to vanish, as if the effect was only temporary. And now there is only the one left that is holding you.
Okay. Sharp is still asleep? Or at least unconscious?
Yes, Sharp is unconscious in the little crystalline structure.
Then I would like to try to use my Mind Blast again to awaken her. Her, him? I forgot. Sorry.
Her. Sharp is a her.
Her. Yeah.
All right. Give me an unleash your powers, or wait, no. Did we say that was defend? Let's see. You know what? I'll let you decide. Do you want to say that you're trying to protect her by waking her up, or are you trying to overcome the obstacle of her being down? I really could take either at this point.
I would have tried to overcome the obstacle. Even if I damage her in some way, she just has to wake up and fight.
Perfect. I love it. That is the perfect justification. Give me a roll plus freak.
That's
so that is a 7. So you do it. You reach out and you see Sharp jolts awake at this with a gasp.
And I will let you tell me how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Alrighty then. I'm going to say it is temporary. You've woken her up. She's still struggling. Since you've woken her up and she still has her powers, she, before passing out, screams. But to you, it sounds weirdly muffled, like you're hearing someone scream down a tunnel from like a mile away. But you see the air rippling in this concentrated tube as it blows into Relic, slamming him off of you and knocking him into a wall. And Relic is now like smashed into the wall. He's going to take another condition, and you are freed, but Sharp passes back out. And that would give Relic a condition move real quick. He just kind of like gets up, staggering a bit, and he's like, "This was not calculated. This should not be. You are unknown variables. I will gain power. Will be God." And that's all he is going to do. So, Nova or Outsider, I'll let either one of you. You can decide who wants to go do something.
How's the wall looking? Unstable.
The wall is looking really, really bad.
Okay, Outsider, we need to do this quick now.
Yeah, is Sharp plummeting right now, just falling straight down, or is she still in her container?
She is falling down. Her container erupted as she screamed. She's falling. It's not super far. I'm going to say probably about like 5 feet. So it's a survivable fall. Maybe not comfortable, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe that will wake her up. I don't give a shit. Yeah, then I will just go ahead and start to punch Relic.
All right.
I guess.
Give me a directly engage a threat.
Yeah, I'm awesome at that. Or not.
Ooh.
5.
You charge up, and Relic was looking a little unstable and everything. You feel a little overconfident, and as you charge forward, it just turns to you, and you see various just random energy holes open up over its body, and an assault of beams pummels into you. All right, well, let's see. How many conditions do you have?
2.
2? take one more condition. I'm going to say you dodge a lot of this, but if you're not afraid, you're afraid now. Otherwise, you might be feeling a little hopeless as this thing shoots at you. I think either one would be pretty justifiable.
Hopeless sounds good. Because I'm already afraid, so I guess the roll would have been a 1 anyways. Overall.
Yep. Not great. So that happens.
Yeah.
Nova, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I think the wall is cracking. The wall is nearly done. Sharp is still unconscious. That as well. Can I rush over to Sharp and maybe use my, I don't know, there probably is a lot of electric energy from these generators in the air, and give like a short jump start to wake them up?
Oh my goodness, yes!
A friendly electric charge. Nothing to get the heart stop. Well, when the heart stops and it starts again, and that would work as well, but we don't have to get to that extreme.
Electrocuting a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me an unleash. Yeah, unleash your powers. You're overcoming an obstacle. This is... Oh, booyah.
Yes,
You
12.
absolutely do it. Yeah, you zap her, and she wakes up, and Sharp, who is a fairly short woman and everything, she kind of hops up, looks around like panting, sees Relic, sees all of you, sees the crack forming, and just goes, "Oh no. Oh God." And seeing her friends, and like, she sees the wall of this place. The crack makes this loud thud. And there is this one brief moment where she looks at you and says, "Take him out. Save my friends." And she turns back to the wall, takes a deep breath, and screams. And you see this wave of energy smash up against this wall as it collapses in, and you see the force pushing back and holding the dam in place. You don't know how long she can do this, but you need to end it now.
Yeah, I just try to crumple him up like a can again.
Beautiful. Give me a directly engage a threat. Roll plus danger.
It's a 7. That I can live with that.
A 7 is a hit. And pick one to resist avoiding their blow, take something from them, create an opportunity, or impress, surprise, frighten.
I would like to create an opportunity. For my
Perfect. So I will say, so you are going to take a condition from this. No, roll 2, because as you're clashing, this is going to be one just massive, you punch each other, and I need take a powerful blow from you. So roll plus the number of conditions you have.
That would be 3. That's a
That
10.
brings up to a 10. Do you remove yourself from combat? Do you lose control in a bad way? Or are you taking 2 options from the second list?
Let's see what happens when I lose control.
Ooh, boy. So you smash into him with this force, and as your fist connects, you unleash this devastating wave of density on this much more powerful relic, but he crumples, and you feel yourself exerting with more density than you've ever tried, just pushing it into him. But as you do, it begins to rupture other parts of the dam, and the whole structure is just shaking. And as that's happening now, it is going to make it harder to escape. And so you can all attempt to... I can say that at this point now, if you all want to get out of here, you can both just get out of here just fine, or you can attempt to save North Star and Quantum, but it will require a defend roll.
I mean, we're superheroes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's try to save people.
All right. So, I will say, just one of you could potentially say, well, Outsider, you can kind of fly and you're stronger than a normal person. You could potentially try and save both of them if you want. I might be saying this because you've got the higher savior label, but...
Yeah, I will try that.
I still have one shielding point, which makes that freak for me, so... Yeah.
Ooh, yes. Well, that might
True.
come into play. So,
Yeah, then
give me a roll plus savior. Outsider, you're gonna try and save these people.
Oh, boy.
I'll take that.
Absolutely.
Oh,
You managed to get out of there. However, the destruction is so massive. There is nothing that you can do to save Sharp. And as both of you escape, the moment you're out the door, you hear the dam collapsing and you see water begin to rush through. But Nova, you can control elements. Water is an element.
That's correct.
I will let you roll defend to try and protect a big part of the city.
I'm gonna use... can I use shield for that?
Absolutely.
Defend someone. The whole city.
Oh
Wait, that's 5.
You
no! We have the
attempt
team
to...
pool. We have the team pool.
Oh, perfect.
guess.
That brings
We can make
Brings
it
it
a
up to-
success.
Let's make it a
let's see, because what is the shield plus? What do you get to add to that?
Freak, I think.
Yeah, I had freak. I have a 5 in at total, theoretically.
So we could bump it up to a 9 or 8, I think.
We have a 4, I think, so we can do
4?
9. So let's do just 9 and be happy with it.
Well, here I'll say this. Normally you can only spend 1 team point per team member helping, but
Okay.
Outsider, I'm going to let you roll to spend 2 team points because who wants to end on this happening? So give me a roll. Let's... You know what? We're going to say... Oh, boy. What's going to be a good one?
I mean, it's a perfect ending for your video. Everyone's dead.
Just give me a roll plus freak. We're going to say unleashing your powers.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. 11.
I am going to say that with that, I will let you spend the 2 team. You will bring Nova's roll up to a 7 as Nova attempts to defend the city from this. So you both have to focus so much attention upon doing this. You are able to save the city. You reroute this torrent of water just off to the side. A few, like, construction buildings, this and that, and some forest get taken out, but you save the city. But you're putting so much effort into it that you are unable to do anything as that large shifting cube that was routing the powers through it raises up and you see briefly blue eyes from the cube look at you, and it just goes, I see. I will need to recalculate before I return and put an end to you. And it zips off to where you cannot know, but you have saved the city. And unfortunately, though, both Quantum and North Star, upon waking, they describe to you that they can't feel their powers. They can't do what they should be able to do. And they describe it as they were suddenly jumped by Relic. And it was strange because they couldn't even see him coming. And when he struck them, it was like they were being paralyzed and there was nothing they could do to it. And that is when you realize that is the reason Kikimora didn't have his powers, because he was the first. And now, there are only 2 stars to protect this city. And it's you two.